Judy Leissner, you're president of Grace Wineries in China. Your wines are certainly taking off, and they're getting mentioned internationally. They were mentioned just in the Financial Times over the weekend as the finest wines out of China. I think said about the Chairman's Reserve wine, which is a pretty good one. I can testify myself personally. But are you kind of focusing largely on the domestic market right now, or are you thinking internationally?
We are trying to sell on the domestic market, but at the same time wanted to have international recognitions, but the wine intended to sell domestically.
How would you try to position it if you go international?
We currently, for example, we send the wine over to a lot of wine critics, and there are a lot of people in the wine industry that we regularly send report what we are doing right now, what are some new projects and some new wine coming out, what do you think? So those give us a lot of coverage in terms of the press and the media, but we actually don't sell, for example, we don't sell to the US because we don't have enough wine, and it's better to focus in China, and especially given the fact that we are quite small as a winery in China. If we do spread it out, then our market present in China is even smaller, as it may not be a very good position to be in.
So basically, people think it's quite a romantic thing to do to have a winery, but it's actually hard work. And most wineries are loss-making. It's difficult to make money in that sort of field.
That's why people are quite surprised that we are profitable. We're starting to be profitable in end of 2005. But if you think about it, we really just launched in 2003. So in 2-3 years' time, we are profitable. Not huge profit, it's small winery, but whenever I talk to my friends from Europe or Australia wineries, they're all surprised. But I think that it's mostly because we are very unique. I think most Chinese companies have not come out from the fact that now we are oversupplied on anything, not before you have a bag of cash and you want to get something. It's nothing like that. People buy because of a brand, because of quality, slowly and surely. So we basically position ourselves to be a quality focus on the upper higher end range. But if you look at our price, we are not luxury product. We target the middle class, middle upper class, and we ensure the quality is value for money and exceed the value. So if I have my wine compared to wine from other countries at that price point, I think we are very, very competitive.
Isn't it still an issue with wine education in China, though? I mean, you hear these stories, and I don't know how true they are, of people drinking Chateau Petrus but with Coca-Cola and just mixing the two. I mean, does it actually happen in China?
It does, but things are changing fast. I think depending on what hats you wear. When I wear the president hat, it's very painful when people do, bottom up my wine. It's like, what do you taste? But if I wear my salesman hat, great, continue. It's a different thing, but for example, we have wine shop. We do direct sales. The main reason is to have a platform and direct interaction with ultimate consumers. The way we do generally is every of my wine shop have a little room that people can sit down and have a taste and drink. Those are for the shop manager to build relationship with clients. When they sit down, we drink. We don't talk about wine. We don't talk about wine because they're not interested in it. They drink wine because it's part of work. You go dinner, you have to have wine. So we might as well have grape wine rather than hard liquor. That's the trend. But they don't like wine. But during the conversation, you build a relationship. You can slip knowledge. Oh, you should hold the glasses like this. The sensitive to temperature. You just hints, drop a bit. You do things. But if I look at my clients, they're repeated clients. And 2 years ago, when they came into the shop, they would ask, "I want red wine." That's all they said. "I want the most expensive red wine," or whatever. Now they will say, "I like a Cabernet Sauvignon. I want a Merlot." At least mean that they are improving. And I think that is wine education. It's more effective that way, although it's slow, but it's more effective. It's better than you have a lecture room and tell people how you do it.
You're saying that there are around 300 wineries in China presently, which is quite surprising. Do you see the wine industry really taking off there? And it's a huge market, everybody knows that. It's going to take time for that sort of wine culture to come through in China. On the other hand, it's not particularly the right sort of climate for viniculture.
I think I would not agree that the climate may not be right. I think when people ask me, do you think Shanxi is the best place? The question itself is wrong. It's not the climate, the soil alone. It's also what you grow, the grapes as well. We believe that province about Yellow River are suitable. And that's why we also believe the more western part is better than the coastal area. That's why we are expanding into Shanxi, Ningxia, and Gansu. And generally, I think the wine, we're very optimistic, and that's why we're building a second winery. And optimistic in the sense that a couple of things. One, the income of people are getting better and better. If everybody's starving, nobody drink wine. And if you look at it, it seems like China economy per capita income is increasing, so that is a plus. Secondly, people are now more health conscious. In a Chinese banquet, there's no way there's no alcohol. Must have alcohol. And they used to drink hard liquor, like Mao Tai, very strong, burn your throat. Yeah. But they now notice that that's not good for their health. That's why they are moving more toward wine. So in a dinner, you always see a red wine plus the hard liquor. Not everybody like the tannic wine. So some people still prefer hard liquor. But you see the trend of people become health conscious, that they prefer wine. Grape wine. I think that's also the other positive side. And then the third thing is, if they go out dinner, there must be alcohol, a lot of it as well. It's a catalyst. You drink wine to make you happy. So if you drink wine, you're sipping it, tasting it, chatting with friends, make you happy. Great, do it. If you bottom up and you're happy, why not?
So will you be happy to see your wines in top restaurants in New York or wherever within, say, 5 years?
I would be very happy about that. I think that that would be more or less the ultimate goal, one of the goals. But for us, the ultimate passion that we want to be is to find where in China and what style of wine to make. And when people drink it, and currently they say, oh, it's a Bordeaux wine. Of course, it's a compliment, but I don't want. We ultimately, if we after 50 years, 100 years, people still think we're Bordeaux wine, then we fail. And I want people to try and say that, oh, this is a fantastic Chinese wine, and find the style.
Judy Leissner, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.